Hello, listeners. This is Kat, and welcome back to Put Your Hands Up Podfics. This will be the continuation of Datastream. This will be Part 10, Chapter 10. Just a side note, if you're not a fan of singing or listening to people absolutely butcher songs, this will not be the chapter for you because I do in fact sing in this one. My voice is altered though, so I at least have that going for me. This chapter took a little bit to record, not just because of the singing, but because of how funny it is, so I hope you all enjoy it because it really is one of my favorites. Here's Chapter 10. Izuku was nervous. He shouldn't be nervous. He's known Nezu for years. Nezu was the one who had reached out to him initially when he first noticed Izuku's amateur attempts at hacking into the Hero Network sites. He showed Izuku how to be efficient, effective, creative, and he was staring at Izuku with those beady little eyes. Izuku shivered, not because he didn't like Nezu. He was every bit as impressive in person as he was over their online chats, but he'd never been on the receiving end of that calculating stare. And his tail, it was swinging back and forth like a metronome. Tick, tick, tick. Even Papa was affected by the tense atmosphere Nezu let off. I think I'm gonna wait outside. Yeah, actually, I'm going to my office and I'm gonna work on some grading. Have fun, you two. And then he escaped. Coward, Izuku muttered, much to the amusement of Nezu. The intense atmosphere lasted for only another minute or so before Nezu cracked and started laughing. All at once, Izuku was able to relax, realizing that Nezu had done that whole thing on purpose. Starry-eyed, Izuku asked, "How did you do that? That was so cool." "Practice, my dear child, practice. There's just one thing I wish to teach you now that I have you in person, but first..." Nezu got onto the table and walked to the edge and looked at Izuku up close. "Have you finished the reading I assigned you?" "Yes," Izuku nodded enthusiastically. "It was fascinating. I already have some ideas on how it can work, but I haven't gotten around to trying any of them." "Then that's the first thing we should work on," Nezu grinned. "To be honest, I was a little disappointed in how long it took you to locate your mother, not just because of what you overlooked. It took you over an hour to locate her cell phone signal." Izuku looked down with an embarrassed expression. "Japan is a big country." "Indeed, but this shows you were searching manually," Nezu pointed out. "As fast as your brain is, doing things manually defeats the whole point of a quirk like yours. So, today we will start by creating a code that will locate, isolate, and respond to a particular cell phone reception." Izuku's eyes lit up in unholy glee. "I have just the person to try this out on." "The snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen." Endeavor tried to change the channel, but every channel he tried played the same song, that stupid Ice Queen song from that pre-quirk Disney movie. Giving up, he just turned off the television. In his office, as soon as the television was off, it turned itself back on and continued to play. Getting up from his desk, careful not to lose his temper while in his agency, he left the office to try to get work done in a different room. As soon as he walked out of his office, every television, radio, and cell phone in the new room started the song right where his television had left off. "The wind is howling like this swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I've tried. Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they know." "Datastream," he growled out, knowing full well that this had to be the product of that infuriating 2-bit hack. "I know you can hear me. What do you want with me?" Let it go, can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, turn away and slam the door. I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway." Endeavor didn't get an answer from the elusive hacker, but the song kept playing on repeat no matter where he was, all day. While out on patrol, any television he passed would start to show Elsa singing in the snow as she created her ice castle. Civilian phones would all start playing the song. Any radio would start to play it as well. "It's funny how some distance makes everything seem small, and the fears that once controlled me can't get to me at all. It's time to see what I can do to test the limits and break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me.
I'm free.
Within a few hours, everyone in the city knew that the song meant Endeavor was near. Civilians would look up in anticipation of seeing the flame hero, while criminals and villains alike would instantly stop what they were doing and run for cover, knowing that they were likely to die a fiery death if they were spotted today.
Let it go, let it go. I'm one with the wind and sky. Let it go, let it go. You'll never see me cry. Here I stand, and here I stay. Let the storm rage on.
Meanwhile, at the Todoroki estate, Natsuo and Shoto were enraptured by the news coverage of this beautiful event. Shoto knew instantly that it had to be the work of Datastream, and while he has no idea as to why he enjoyed tormenting his father, he was quickly becoming this person's biggest fan. Shoto was working on his homework, and he heard his phone start playing the song, and 2 minutes later the front door opened, and Endeavor came home.
My power flurries through the air into the ground. My soul is spiraling in frozen fractals all around, and one thought crystallizes like an icy blast. I'm never going back. The past is in the past.
In another part of the country, a man with burns covering most of his body was watching the news and came across the story of the song that followed Endeavor all day, and decided that he had a new hero. Whoever had managed to do this was a god among men.
Let it go, and I'll rise like the break of dawn. Let it go, that perfect girl is gone. Here I stand in the light of day. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway.
Okay, I'll bite, Shouta said, as they ate dinner that night with the news on in the background. What's the whole reasoning behind your feud with Endeavor? Don't like him, was Izuku's simple reply. Hisashi and Shouta exchanged a glance. Is there a reason, baby? Hisashi asked. Izuku looked up from the katsudan he was happily eating. Oh, yeah, but it's kinda stupid. When both Hisashi and Shouta gestured for him to continue, he did. Okay, so my dad had a fire quirk and Bakugo has an explosion quirk. I was like 8, maybe, and I had a bit of an aversion to fire at the time. Understandable, Hisashi said. Yeah, so one day I saw Endeavor in the streets, and I just wanted to talk for a few minutes, you know? He was one of those heroes I thought maybe could help me get over my fear of fire. Just having a conversation with him while knowing he'd be sporting those stupid flames he always has, I thought it'd help. Izuku took a bite of rice and happily chewed. This is so good, Papa. I love your katsudan. Hisashi's grin was turned all the way up to 11. Thank you, tiny green baby, but you can't change the subject that easily. With a pout, Izuku continued his story. Not only did he ignore me, but he also pushed me down when I stubbornly kept following him. There was a singed handprint on my coat, and Mom locked me in my room for a week because of the damaged coat. Shouta could feel himself about to lose control of his quirk, so he closed his eyes and took a deep breath. Okay, so I may have some ideas for future pranks. Izuku turned his million-watt smile to Shouta and said, Thanks! Nezu is helping me too. Shoto wanted to find out who Datastream was. He needed to find out who he was, not only because he was having a great time laughing at his father's frustration, but because he wanted them to know just how much danger they'd be in if Endeavor ever got his hands on them. Who is Datastream? Shoto typed into the search bar. In connection-oriented communication, a data stream is a sequence of digitally encoded, coherent signals used to transmit or receive information that is in the process of being transmitted. A data stream is a set of extracted information from a data provider. Interesting, but not useful. Shoto kept at it for a few hours, trying every way he could to figure it out, with no success, until a window popped up on his screen. You're looking for me, little Todoroki. Whoa, you're real. Yes? At least, I think I am. Pokes self. Yeah, or not. I didn't feel that. I wanted to thank you for everything you're doing to my father. My brother and I are greatly enjoying everything you're doing to him. But I also wanted to warn you. Oh, no need for the warning. I know he's going to flambe my ass if he ever finds out who I am. It's a game for me at this point, though. Can I make him lose his shit in public before he finds me? There's only one way to find out. Would information on his personal life help you? Maybe. Depends on what you have, really. Baby, you're crying. I know you're in the stream, but can you come out and tell me what's wrong? Izuku pulled himself out of the stream, to find he did have fresh tears running down his face. He had a new reason for hating Endeavor, and he was going to bring the giant trash fire down. I just spoke with Endeavor's youngest son. He's not just mean to civilians, Papa. Izuku sniffed and rubbed away his tears. I'm going to end his career. Oh, baby. Papa wrapped Izuku in a hug and ran his fingers through his hair. He abuses his son and calls it training, and got his wife locked in a mental hospital after she snapped from the abuse. The tears wouldn't stop no matter how much he rubbed at his eyes. Shoto was living in much the same condition Izuku was in. He had to get him out. Did he tell you all this? Papa asked. No, Izuku said. He only told me that his dad was often angry and that he was quirkist. I could see him through the camera in his computer, and it seemed he was hiding something, so I went digging. Papa pressed a kiss to Izuku's forehead and kept his hold on him tight. I'm not sure what you're going to do, but I fully support it. Bring him down, and if there's anything I can do to help, you let me know, okay, baby? Yeah, thank you, Papa. Suka. Data, good to hear from you again. Wait, did you change my name? Again? The detective's name was now Detective T. I did. Do you like it? Wait, no, that's not why I'm texting. I have a case I need you to look into, and a hero I need you to arrest. Oh? Who? Endeavor. I'll provide directions for you to find the information. I know you can't use what I directly give you since I don't have a license yet, but you know everything I have is accurate. What has he done? I'll open the investigation, but what am I investigating? Everything you need is in your email, but short version is he's an abusive father/husband and may have killed his oldest son. In other news, a reporter said over the television that had turned itself on in Enji's room while he was working on a report. Number 2 pro hero Endeavor has made a huge donation to multiple charities today. Among these are the National Battered Wives Foundation, the Center for Abused Children, and the anti-discrimination group All Quirks Are Equal. Enji's blood ran cold as he listened to the report. He hadn't ever told anyone about that, well, no one that he hadn't already had on payroll. Surprise, bitch. I hope you're ready to fall. I'm dragging your ass to hell. What did I ever do to you to deserve this treatment? Did you change my name? Enji's name was now Giant Trash Fire. Is that your stupid question of the day? And you don't need to have done anything to me to deserve this. The fact that you did this is what makes you deserve it. How did you find out about this? Funny story. So I'm working on improving some of my hacking skills. I know, what? Data's not already the best out there? And you did something to me a few years ago that ticked me off, and now I have the skills to get back at you, well, gesturing to everything. Anywho, personal grudges aside, I found your information, all of it, and I have a lock on it, so you can't blank the data, so don't bother trying. I've informed quite a few people. I'll be surprised if you manage to keep your license after this. The trial was 2 months later. Todoroki Enji was stripped of his pro hero license and sentenced to 15 years in prison. Todoroki Fuyumi was appointed guardianship of her younger brothers. Todoroki Rei, however, after an evaluation, was not deemed mentally stable, so would have to remain in the hospital. However, her treatment plan had changed, and she was likely to start making progress in her recovery. Message from Hot Elsa. Thank you. You're very welcome. I was in a shit place before, too. I had to help. Can I ask you a personal question? Sure, but I might not answer. How old are you? Some of the things you did to my father make me think you're my age, but then you also did all this, so I also think you might be older. Should I tell you, or should I make you wait? Decisions. I think you're my age. I'll be turning 13 soon. Good. Now it won't feel so weird when I tell you this. I think I have a crush on you. Datastream.x has stopped working. Did I scare you off? I'm sorry. No, you didn't. I was just surprised. Not in a bad way. Tiny green baby. I thought you were Datastream. Shit. I changed my name back on accident. Oops. All right, listeners, this concludes Chapter 10 of Datastream. This is one of my favorite chapters. It cracks me up endlessly every single time. Aizawa and Hitoshi getting on board with pranking Endeavor. The fact that Elsa literally follows him around. Granted the fact that I had to sing for this, but I know I could have literally just said the words. Like I've done that briefly in previous fics, where if it's just a small lyric or two, I would just say the words normally. But I felt like it was so much funnier to edit the voice and make it sound more like Elsa, as much as I could get it to like configure to that to make it sound more like it that way. I just thought it was so much funnier to envision Elsa just following Endeavor around the city all day while he's working. I am really eager to hear your thoughts and reactions on this one because I think the author does a really great job of creating these really humorous pranks on Endeavor, but also developing the relationship between Shoto and Izuku starting to flourish from this as well. So I'm eager to hear what your thoughts were on this chapter. Chapter 11 will be up next, and as always, thank you so much for listening.